Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Though this story is named The Banyan Tree, it is mainly about a fight between a snake and a mongoose. In the first part of the story, the narrator describes the banyan tree and all the friends he had made on it. However, in the second part of the story, the narrator describes his grandstand view of a cobra fight with a mongoose. The Banyan Tree is a story by Ruskin Bond. This chapter in your book has been abridged. Let us now begin the lesson. The narrator is a young boy who lives with his grandparents in Dehradun. He was very fond of the magnificent old banyan tree. He claimed it belonged to him, mainly since his 65-year-old grandfather could not climb it anymore. The spreading branches of the banyan tree hung low. They twisted downward and took root and formed passages which delighted the narrator. Squirrels, snails, and butterflies played among them. The tree was older than the narrator's grandparents' house, and possibly as old as Dehradun. The narrator would often hide among the branches and through the thick green leaves look down on the world below. Can you guess who the author's first friend was? Yes, you're right. It was a squirrel. The squirrel at first was a little suspicious of the author and disliked him. However, soon the squirrel realized that the narrator was rather harmless and had no air guns or catapults. Thus, it became rather friendly. The narrator started getting him pieces of cake and biscuit. Soon the squirrel was brave enough to take food from the narrator's hand. Eventually, it used to delve into the narrator's pocket to find food. The young squirrel's relatives probably thought him to be foolish enough to befriend a human. In spring, the banyan tree would be the noisiest place in the garden. The tree would be laden with red figs. Birds like red-bottomed bulbul, parrots, miners, and crows would flock to the tree. The author had built a crude sort of a platform on the tree. In the afternoons, the narrator would lean against a pillow and settle himself on the platform. Books like Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dr. Dolittle comprised his banyan tree library. Often, when the narrator did not want to read, he would spy on the world below. One summer afternoon, the narrator lay on the platform, feeling drowsy. Due to the warm summer breeze, everyone, including the gardener, had gone inside. The narrator thought about taking a dip in the pond. Suddenly, he spied a large black cobra glide out from behind cacti in the garden. Suddenly, a mongoose too appeared from the bushes and attacked the snake. As they came face to face in the open space under the banyan tree, the 3 feet long mongoose was an intelligent and ferocious fighter. However, the snake was fast, skilled, and experienced. The sac behind the snake's fangs carried fatal poison. The narrator began to anticipate a fight between champions. The snake began to hiss. It raised half of its body 3 feet off the ground and spread its hood. The mongoose pushed its tail and took its position. Suddenly, 2 more spectators, apart from the narrator, came to watch this fight. A miner and a jungle crow perched on a cactus to watch the match. The cobra began to defensively sway from side to side. It tried to trick the mongoose onto making a false move. The mongoose fixed its eyes under the cobra's hood and prepared to attack. The mongoose pretended to move to one side. When the cobra attacked that spot, the mongoose swiftly jumped in the other direction. The mongoose bit the snake and in a flash darted back. Something funny happened then. As the mongoose bit the cobra, The myna and the jungle crow too threw themselves at the snake. They ended up colliding in mid-air and resettled on the cactus. The snake had begun to bleed from the bite. The next time the cobra struck, it missed the mongoose. Once again, the birds hurled themselves at the snake, only to collide into each other again. Shrieking at each other, they once again settled on the cactus. During the third bout of the fight, the same thing happened. This time, the birds missed their mark once more. However, this time the crow flew too close to the snake, and the snake bit the crow swiftly. The bird's body flung 20 feet away across the garden. It fluttered a little before dying. The myna, having learnt its lesson, did not disturb the snake again. The myna did not move from the cactus again. In a swift move, the mongoose raised itself and had the snake by its snout. The snake lashed about and even coiled itself around the mongoose. The mongoose, however, did not let go. Soon, the snake stopped moving. The mongoose then dragged the snake to the bush. The myna hopped onto the ground. It looked into the bush from a distance. Suddenly, it gave out a shriek as if congratulating the mongoose and flew away. With that, we come to the end of this lesson. Did you know Indian grey mongooses are immune to snake venom? Perhaps that is what makes them a great fighter and usually the champion. We hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you soon in other videos of Notebook. Till then, keep learning.